host, Queen Evelina, and this is an indie exclusive on WQEB 97.3. Today, I'm going to be talking to 3P Twan. So, what side of town are you from, 3P Twan?
I'm from
The
the
east, the north?
I'm from the east side. I'm from Decatur, Georgia.
Okay, Decatur, where is greater?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, so what high school did you go to?
I went to Rockdale High School, Rockdale County.
Okay, is that when you started rapping?
Nah, I actually been rapping my whole life for real. My dad and my stepdad actually had me in the studio since I was a kid, and it's just something I grew up around. So it was something that really came natural because I always wanted to do it, but they tried to keep
Mhm.
my head focused on school. They told me to stay with football. So that's kind of what I stuck to, but I always wanted to do rapping. It was something I always had a passion for.
Okay. What about English? Because in order to be a rapper, you got to be able to write. You got to have them synonyms and them antonyms, that alliteration and all of that going on. While you were in high school, did you have fun in your English class?
I actually did. We used to have to write poems before class as like writing exercises, and my teacher would always pick me to like present them. She
Hmm.
always felt like I always had like a strong approach to all my poems that I always wrote. I just took a lot of pride in those small assignments because they meant more to me than really reading the books. Really,
Oh wow, wow! And so therefore, it was like easy breezy for you to add music to your poems.
not really, not necessarily. The lyrics was always something I always had, but once I actually
Hmm.
started taking music serious around the age of 17, 18 is when I started putting it on.
Okay.
I was more of just a writer at first. I didn't really take music as serious as I wanted to because I was always worried about what other people had to say. But as I grew up,
Oh,
I started taking it more serious.
okay, because speaking of people taking your generation serious, you're growing up in an era of mumble rap. Would you consider yourself a mumble rapper?
No, not at all.
Okay, so people can actually understand what you're saying when
I
you rap
clearly,
clearly.
yeah.
You make sure to enunciate your words. Okay, cool. Now you just dropped a mixtape not too long ago called
No
what
turning,
do you mean? What no turning back. That's what it is. No turning back. What does that mean to you?
no turning back. It was my debut mixtape. It was my first mixtape, and it means what the title is. Like no turning back. I wanted to put like all my effort in the music. I didn't want to make it like a side hustle. I didn't want to make it a hobby no more. I had
Hmm.
in my ear telling me like, dude, you really are talented. You don't want to like waste that gift. So I was like, I just couldn't see myself just doing something I hated for the rest of my life. So when I made that album, No Turning Back, I even made the cover art with like my eyes covered with a bandage. Like no more turning back. Don't look back at your past no more. It's all about what's next.
Okay. Now, was there something specific from your past that made you say, hey, yeah, I know sports is cool. Yeah, I know you guys want me to focus on school, but I think music is really my calling. Like, besides people telling you that it was your calling, what happened to you that,
What
that pushed that final decision?
what really happened to me is just realizing that sports just wasn't for me. It's not something that made me happy. I only did it for the money.
Hmm. Okay.
Coming from where I came from, my mama had me at like 17 years old. I didn't have a father in my life. So, stereotypes was just something I dealt with my whole life. So,
Okay.
really didn't feel good embarrassing my mama. So, I just did everything I had to do to make sure she looked good.
Ah, wow. Okay, that is a attitude that we don't hear very often from your generation. So, where do you think you picked up this value from? If there were no men around you, where did you get this value of respect and chivalry?
It's just how I always been. I never been the type of person to like disrespect people. That's why it took me so long to get into the music thing because your parents, my mom,
Hmm.
I lived, she knew what I did, but I didn't
Hmm.
hold that image of me because I wanted her to look good. But I knew what I was doing. She knew what I was doing. But I just didn't feel like it was just, especially at that age, I didn't want to put her through all that stress of what goes on in the music industry.
Hmm. Now, has your mom been supportive of you in music?
Been very supportive. She actually has my album pinned on her Facebook page, her Instagram account. She supports my music more than anybody.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So if there was a verse, if you can pick any verse in hip hop right now to describe your mom, what would it be?
Uh, Mama, I'm sorry by YNW Melly because I apologize to my mama more than anything. I
Ha.
my mom
Okay.
I I used to like complain about like dang I'm stressing my mom out, but I was the reason. My mama like
Okay.
always used to be on me about like Twan, we here for a reason. You don't have to do everything by yourself. I'm in your life for a reason.
Hello.
She always used to
Okay.
like while I'm here, take advantage of it. But she know I'm always been like an independent person. I always wanted to get money on my own. I always want to figure things out on my own. But during that process, I took a lot of L's. But I don't never look at L's as losses. I look at them all as lessons, and she respects that.
That is so awesome. Okay, now 4 a.m. is one of the records that we have in rotation. Okay, so guys, if you're trying to follow up with 3P Twan, make sure that you tune in to WQEV 97.3 to listen to 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is actually off of the mixtape, No Turning Back. So tell me about the inspiration for 4 a.m.
4 a.m. really was made at 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up. I popped off the song saying it's 4 a.m.
Okay.
trying to see what I'm on. Like I literally got a text around 4 a.m. with someone asking to see me. So that's really where the inspiration from the song came from.
Okay,
And
well, we're not going to skip over that. So you got a booty call. Hold on, no, no, no. You got a booty call at 4
yeah,
a.m. in the morning.
yeah,
Okay, so the question we want to know is she still in your life?
no,
No. Oh,
no,
dang. Mm. Her loss, or what did you
not
do?
really. I really don't take relationships too serious because I know how dedicated
Okay.
music. I feel like a lot of relationships require a lot of communication
Yeah,
and
they do.
there for one another. And the way I move and how focused I am on my future, I don't really feel like I got time for anybody else. So I don't feel comfortable leading people on. So no, I don't really get into it too much.
Okay. Well, you immortalize it in a song, so there's something, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now you also mentioned YNW Melly. I hope I'm saying his name right because you new rappers got all these acronyms for names. Like Young Boy M&A, NLE Chop. Like we gotta remember. I mean, y'all young rappers got more alphabets than the LGBT. At this point, y'all are going neck and neck for the alphabet right now. Neck and neck for the alphabet. But if you can work with any rapper in the industry right now, who would it be and why?
if I could work with any rapper in the industry right now,
Yeah.
that's a question I honestly don't know. I really would want to work with whoever sees the most potential in me. I just want to like I don't want to work with nobody in the industry unless I can sit down and have a conversation with them first. I want to see who they are as a person before I do anything with anybody. Like I just feel like it'd be more genuine. We can get a better, even if we was to record a track together, it'll be more. You know, you could feel it more if you actually know the person. I don't
True.
work with nobody for the money.
Okay. All right. Well, you seem pretty self-aware and in tune. Um, if there was a scripture, I mean, I don't know your religious background. Now,
I'm
are you spiritual? What are you?
I'm Christian actually.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was gonna
Not,
say. What?
but I I'm I am
How do
Christian.
you feel? You are Christian. Okay. So I want to phrase this the right way. How much of a role has your faith played in keeping you motivated?
A
Because
huge part.
music is not an easy industry to navigate.
A huge part actually. My grandmother's actually a pastor, so I literally grew up in the church. I didn't really have a choice.
Okay.
Every Sunday morning, my grandma slapping Vaseline on my face saying, "Get ready." So a house full of 8 people and probably 2 females. You know, the female is basically the queens of the house. You don't argue with them. They say get up and go to church. You get up and go to church.
Okay. You get up and you go to church.
And
Okay, so if there's any advice that you would give to a youngin that's thinking about getting into the music industry, something you've learned so far along the way.
be yourself. A lot of people they go into the music industry and they try to sound like their favorite artist or they try to sound like the newest sound. When
Hmm.
get you popping, it definitely will get you popping. It'll get your numbers up because that's what's trending right now. But it's not gonna help you last in the long run. You gotta be
Hmm.
Like one thing I noticed about a lot of artists that don't really change up their styles. Versatility is another thing too. You want to challenge yourself. You don't want to get too
Okay.
stuck in the same place. So if I had to give any advice to anybody, is to really just keep pushing yourself, challenge yourself, and get the best version of you.
True, true. All right. Well, we know you're striving to be the best version of 3P Twan. Y'all been listening to WQBB 97.3 with your girl, Queen Evelina. And again, we got 3P Twan on the line. Thank you so much for chopping it up with us for a hot second. And again, guys, if you want to hear 4 a.m., make sure that you tune into WQBB 97.3. Twan, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at 3P underscore Twan and on YouTube at, well, 3P space Twan. I don't have a Twitter, but I'm working on it right now. I'm trying to get more on
Okay.
more interactive
All
with
right.
that like my music.
Okay. Awesome. And we're out.